Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legend of Wrestling. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 239 pounds, I give you SD Special Delivery Jones. SD Jones debuted in the WWE when it was called the Worldwide Wrestling Federation on April 25, 1974, when in a live event in New Jersey, he defeats the big guy, Nikolai Volkov. On August 30, 1975, on Philadelphia Spectrum, SD Jones defeats the unpredictable Johnny Rhodes. On October 11, 1976, in a live event on Bangor, Maine, SD Special Delivery Jones lost a match against Bruiser Brody. On September 3, 1976, in a live event in Massachusetts, SD Jones teaming with Andre the Giant in a tag team match against the Executioner, managed by Captain Lou Albano, and Andre and SD Jones won this match by disqualification. On December 7, 1976, on Championship Wrestling, SD Jones defeats Moose Monroe. On February 18, 1977, in a live event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, SD Jones defeats Nikolai Volkov. On May 24, 1977, on Championship Wrestling, SD Jones lost a match against George the Animal Steele. On February 18, 1978, in the legendary Philadelphia Spectrum, SD Jones defeats Nikolai Volkov. On September 19, 1978, on Championship Wrestling, SD Jones lost a match against the big guy, Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. On September 25, 1978, on Madison Square Garden, SD Jones lost a match against a super heavyweight, the 420-pounder Crusher Blackwell. And speaking of Crusher Blackwell, you can find a review on this channel, therefore subscribe. On January 3rd, 1979, on All-Star Wrestling, SD Jones lost a match against Greg the Hammer Valentine. In October, SD Jones left the WWF, but he returned in the late 1980. On January 14, 1981, on All-Stars Wrestling, SD Jones defeats the unpredictable Johnny Rhodes. On January 22, 1981, in a live event in New Jersey, SD Jones lost a match against the fabulous Hulk Hogan. On August 1, 1981, on Philadelphia Spectrum, SD Jones had an Intercontinental Championship match against the magnificent Don Morocco, but he lost this match. On August 12, 1981, in a TV show on Hamburg, Pennsylvania, SD Jones teaming with Kurt Hennig in a tag team match against Killer Khan and George the Animal Steele. And this match ended in a double disqualification. On February 15, 1982, on Madison Square Garden, SD Jones lost a match against Jesse the Body Ventura. In another match on Madison Square Garden, on June 28, 1982, SD Jones lost a match against Black Jack Mulligan. On January 29, 1983, in a live event in the Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland, SD Jones lost a match against another giant, the 6'10", 364-pounder, Big John Studd. On February 15, 1983, on Championship Wrestling, SD Jones lost an Intercontinental Championship match against the magnificent Don Morocco. On January 14, 1984, on Boston Garden, SD Jones lost a match against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. March 15, 1984, in a live event in Maine, SD Jones lost a match against the Masked Superstars. On May 2, 1984, in a live event in Pennsylvania, SD Jones lost a match against the Iron Sheik. On October 8, 1984, on WWF Maple Leaf Wrestling, SD Jones teaming with Samula against Big John Studd and Nikolai Volkov, but they lost a match against the Super Heavyweight and the Big Guy. On November 16, 1984, in a live event in Cincinnati, Ohio, SD Jones teaming with the sensational Rocky Johnson, but they lost a match against Bob Orton, Cowboy Orton, and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. In the legendary WrestleMania 1, SD Jones had the shorter match of his career in 25 seconds. He lost a match against the 468-pounder King Kong Bundy. On May 20, 1985, on Madison Square Garden, SD Jones lost a match against Missing Link. On June 22, 1985, in a TV show on Boston Garden, SD Jones lost a match against Macho Man Randy Savage. On March 15, 1986, on Primetime Wrestling, SD Jones lost a match against Oz Funk. On August 26, 1986, SD Jones teaming with Corporal Kirshner against the Inal family, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd on Superstars of Wrestling, and they lost this match. On January 19, 1987, on Madison Square Garden, SD Jones lost a match against Otla Rambas. On September 4, 1987, SD Jones was a part of the King of the Ring tournament, and in the first round he defeats Sika. But in the quarterfinals, he lost a match against King Kong Bundy. On October 9, 1987, in a live event in Houston, Texas, SD Jones lost a match against Boris Zukov. On May 31, 1988, on Wrestling Challenge, SD Jones lost a match against the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. On June 20, 1988, in a house show in Connecticut, in New Haven, Connecticut, SD Jones lost a match against the 6'6", 380-pounder, the Big Boss Man. On November 26, 1988, in a show in Madison Square Garden, SD Jones had a match against a big super heavyweight, 6'9", 457-pounder Akim the African Dreams, and SD Jones lost this match. On December 4, 1988, in a house show in the Civic Center in Springfield, Massachusetts, SD Jones lost a match against King Gaku. Later, SD Jones left the WWF. He returns on October 19, 1990, in another show on Madison Square Garden, when he lost a match against Iron Mike Sharp. Later, he left the WWF. This is SD Special Delivery Jones, WWE Hall of Famer, a true legend. Thanks for watching, my friends, and don't forget, share this video on social media, like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more WWF Hasbro Legend of Wrestling videos. So long, everybody!